Alrighty, City of Island Fishing, I'm Glenn, and this round we're talking more on that last do-it-yourself rod rack. In this case, we had shown you previously the paracord fly rod tube rack, and then we did the wooden wall rod racks. And now we wanted to show you how we built this PVC floor rod rack. And so the intent there was to organize our rods, but since we had them all over on the walls and whatnot, we'd have to pull out a ladder to reach them. And so we wanted to set up a PVC floor rod rack to keep the 6 or so that we would be using for that given period, be it kayak fishing, hitting the beach, for some surf fishing, as well as hitting local ponds and whatnot. So we want to have that ready. What we started was a floor rod rack that could handle 6 rods, but we took an existing design that we saw online and made some changes to it to make it a little bit more robust or adjustable. And so we'll show you what we did there. And I'm trying to keep things down to a minimum. I think we ended up spending about, I think it was like $40 or so. Most expensive part was the PVC T fittings. So stay tuned, and we'll go into detail on how we made these PVC floor rod racks. Alrighty, so when we made these floor rod racks, PVC floor rod racks, the material we use, 2-inch diameter PVC, and we had cut 2 in 14-inch length, and then 8 3-inch length sections, and then purchased 4 90-degree elbows, 6 T-joints, and then made some tubes. These is where we're going to mount the rod into the holder itself, or rod rack itself. And we put a 6 8-inch, as well as a mix of some 6-inch as well as 4-inch tubes. And what that does is allows you to, if you have a longer rod or shorter rod, you don't have to go with the full 8-inch that was initially recommended. It's one of the modifications that we had made for this round. For the material that we used, or the tools that we used, we had a hacksaw, had some sandpaper to smooth out some of the edges after we made the cuts, and then PVC cement. And one thing to notice is do pay attention to where we actually apply the cement, because what we did was applied some to some of the sections and left some as is, and that allowed us to do that adjustment as we needed. So we'll start out with the base. We'll gather all the material, have everything cut, and we'll just kind of lay out everything to give you an overview of what we did. Over here are those rod tubes that we'll made some adjustable ones. So we used an 8-inch, a 6-inch, just to make some changes to give it a more robust design. And then here's the PVC cement that we used. This one had a primer as well as the cement itself. And then from the 14-inch length, this is going to be permanently glued to the elbows. And then 2 of the 3-inch sections will be permanently glued to the elbows as well. But none of the T fittings nor rod tubes will be permanently affixed. There's the elbow. And this is going to be the 3-inch section that connects the T's together. There's another 3-inch section. And those won't be glued. The only glue that is used again is that 14-inch section to the elbows, and then the first 3-inch sections connecting the elbows to the first T. Here's the rod tube. That will not be cemented as well. This is the 8-inch version. And then over there is also a 6-inch, and I think we also had a 4-inch that we had put together as well. And by doing this, just permanently gluing those ends, it allowed us to be able to add more or less as needed. Okay, so after dry fitting the base, making sure everything was fitting in place and looked like it should, we went ahead and cemented just the 14-inch sections to the elbows, the 90-degree elbows connecting it, and then the first 4-inch section that was connecting to the elbows. We made a mistake earlier about the 3-inch sections. We had put in the bill of material of 8 3-inch sections. This is actually 8 4-inch sections. And then from there, we took the rod tubes, didn't glue those as well. And just here's one that's 8 inches in length that we're going to show here shortly where it would fit. And then we'll grab I think the next one's going to be a 6-inch section. And we'll also show where that one would fit. And the main thing there is sometimes you've got a rod that isn't a rod that doesn't have a long rod handle compared to another. What we found is having these 8, 6, as well as 4-inch sections for the rod tubes worked out really well. Also, what gave us the ability to make it more of a robust design was because we didn't glue those other T sections as well as 4-inch sections. That allowed us to expand the floor rod rack to add more. So if we wanted to add more, we would just add another T as well as some additional 4-inch sections and then the appropriate rod tube, and we're ready to expand it to a larger length or longer length. All right, hopefully this gives you an idea on the PVC Floor Rod Rack. Glad you stopped by and joined us and checked out the PVC Floor Rod Rack. Got adjustable one. Do check out our other videos, the the paracord fly rod tube rack, and then the wood wall rod racks. Got several videos. I think we have it on the playlist also, so check that out. And then also do stay tuned. We've got some upcoming videos that we'll be posting here. We post typically on Monday, 8 p.m. Central is when we'll typically put out our next video. Sometimes we'll do some in between just because we want to give some updates to our viewers. So that said, do subscribe, stay in touch with us, hit the bell notification so that you'll know as soon as we post anything. And then also do check us out on Instagram for some pictures that we post while we're out and about, as well as some Facebook page, our Facebook page, where we talk of or post other details and whatnot, as well as our Stalker Trout Fishing blog, where we'll put more details, sometimes links and whatnot to some other things that we talk when it comes to fishing and fishing related things. Alrighty, till next time, we'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.